My name is Eleanor Marie Caldwell, and for 50 years I let the world believe I was poor. After Thomas died in that tractor accident in '73, I wore the same black dress to church every Sunday until the fabric went shiny at the elbows. I clipped coupons, grew tomatoes and coffee cans on the back porch, and told anyone who asked that we'd lost everything when the bank took the farm. My 3 children, Richard, Caroline, and little Beatrice, grew up ashamed of their charity case mother. They learned early to introduce me as just Mom, in a tone that begged forgiveness. They never knew their father had done one clever thing before he died. In 1972, Thomas took the $18,000 life insurance payout from his own father and bought 200 acres of rocky, worthless-looking hillside in Napa County. The seller laughed at him. Nobody wanted land that steep. Thomas signed the deed, kissed me once, and said, "Ellie, if grapes ever get fashionable, we'll be set." 3 months later, the tractor rolled. I filed the deed away in a shoebox and forgot it existed. I never forgot it. I just never touched it. While my children climbed corporate ladders and married money, I mailed them checks when the grandkids needed braces, paid for destination weddings I wasn't invited to, and listened to them sigh about how Mom still lives like it's the Depression. Every Christmas, they gave me scented hand soap and worried aloud that I was one fall away from state care. This year, for my 78th birthday, they rented the private room at the country club, the one with the view of the vineyards they assumed I'd never afford to step foot in. They sat me at the head of the table like a queen about to be dethroned. Richard stood, champagne flute in hand. "We have a special presentation," he said, grinning the way he did when he thought he was being clever. Caroline slid a legal-sized envelope across the linen tablecloth. "Happy birthday, Mom," she sing-songed. "Open it." Inside was an official-looking document, Notice of Intent to Vacate. It claimed I had 30 days to leave my subsidized housing before the new owners took possession. The letterhead was fake. They'd printed it themselves. Beatrice was already filming on her phone. The room erupted in laughter. "You should see your face," Richard wheezed. "We even hired an actor to play the process server. Were you scared?" I folded the paper once, twice, and tucked it into my purse next to the deed I'd carried for months. "Terrified," I said quietly. Caroline wiped her eyes. "We've been talking, Mom. There's this new place, Sunset Meadows. It's very reasonable. We'll all chip in. You'll have activities, people your own age." People my own age. As if 78 made me a different species. I smiled the way I used to smile when they were small and lying about broken vases. "That's kind of you, darlings. I'll think about it." 2 weeks later, I flew to Napa alone. I checked into the little inn I could suddenly afford and met with the realtor the next morning. She walked me over the hills Thomas had bought for $90 an acre. Cabernet vines would love this soil, she said. The views were priceless. Offers were already coming in from France, from Hollywood, from tech billionaires who wanted to slap their names on bottles. I sold it all to a consortium for $42 million the day escrow closed. Then I did something Thomas would have loved. I bought the most exclusive winery in the valley, Chateau Lumiere. 30 acres of perfect old vines, a gravity flow cellar, a Michelin-starred restaurant, the waiting list for the tasting room already 5 years long. The first vintage was bottled in October. I designed the label myself. Deep burgundy, gold foil, elegant script that read, Caldwell Reserve 2025. I ordered 4 bottles. On a crisp November morning, I drove, in the new silver Porsche the salesman swore was age-appropriate, to each of my children's houses. I left 1 bottle on each doorstep inside a plain wooden crate. No note, just the bottle. When they turned it around, they saw what I'd had the printer do on the back label. Their 3 names, Richard, Caroline, Beatrice, beautifully typeset, then violently crossed out with a single red stroke. Underneath, in my own handwriting, 1 line. With love from the widow you tried to evict. Drink it slowly. There will be never another. I still live in the same little house on Maple Street. The difference is the deed in the shoebox now says Chateau Lumiere, Napa Valley, California, and the mailbox is suddenly very full of letters that begin, "Dearest Mother, we've been thinking." I let them sit unopened next to the bowl of ripening vineyard tomatoes on my kitchen counter. Some years are for planting, some years are for harvest. This one is mine.